Hey everyone, I'm Curtis,
And I'm Shank.
and you're listening to a very, very special holiday episode of the Good Buds podcast.
Let's dank these halls.
Welcome to the Good Buds podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. This is episode 19, airing Monday, December 21st, 2020, on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and many more. Thanks for joining us, and happy holidays, everyone.
This episode is brought to you by two actual sponsors. We would like to personally thank My High Shop and Lumen Spot for being our awesome sponsors for this podcast. Now, everyone knows Christmas is just days away, and COVID/people makes shopping online a great idea. If you have a fan of this cannabis in your life, you can hit up our link below to My High Shop and use our code GoodBudsCurtis to get a bitchin' 35% off discount and free shipping. Or, if they're fashion oriented, Lumenspot has some lit clothing and accessories. Use our affiliated link in the description and our code GoodBudsPodcast at the checkout for a sick 50% off and free shipping, with the added bonus of them giving us money to support the podcast for all of you. Thank you so much to both of these awesome companies. Now, on with the show.
Thank you very much again to My High Shop and lumenspot.com. Again, guys, check the links down below. Really good merchandise and helps us out.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So, Shank, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I've had a fantastic day. Very busy, very busy. Did a bunch of running around and stuff like that. But, business as usual. Business as usual. How about yourself, man?
It's been a good day. Just getting some last minute Christmas shopping done. The usual, I'm a lazy stoner, so of course I'm gonna wait till the last minute.
Of course.
But it was interesting because while I was out today, I was on the expressway driving, and there was a truck that tipped over. Now this was a Vicks Vapor Rub truck that had tipped over,
Oh,
and there was containers of Vicks Vapor Rub everywhere.
oh man, that sucks, man. That make a hell of a mess.
Oh yeah, I really I do not envy the guys who had to clean that up.
Yeah, like that would take like hours.
Oh yeah.
Like, how
But
was traffic okay? Like, I mean, did you get
oh
how late were you
oh no,
for
traffic
work?
wasn't bad at all. In fact, there wasn't
Oh,
any congestion for 8 hours. Anyway, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you like what we're doing here, you can check out our Patreon page, where we have 6 tiers available, including bonus content and access to our private Discord channel.
he's absolutely right. And if you go down there in the description, check out our page. Consider donating to the show. It would be really, really awesome. Now, let us get into the review.
Good Buds Review, Good Buds.
Curtis, what are you burning today, man?
Well, Shank, today I am burning on some Punta breath.
Okay, Punta breath. Okay.
Exactly. Now, for some of our listeners out there who do not speak Espanol, Spanish, puta translates to bitch or slut, essentially. So this
Yeah.
essentially translates to bitch breath. Now, this is an interesting indica strain because this is a private grow from Detroit. Like a private grower grows this. It hasn't really been fully, revealed to dispensaries and stuff like that yet. So this is a fairly new strain that he's grown. Now, this is a
Nice.
crossbreed between,
Craft strain.
yeah, like a micro bud,
Nice.
but I'm pissed.
Nice. But I'm
So this is a crossbreed between Thin Mint Girl Scout cookie and Mendo breath, with some other possible phenotypes in there, but those are the two main ones. Now,
hmm.
this this look of this strain. Oh boy.
Yeah, tell me about it. What are we working with?
Holy fuck. Okay. So the palette of green is an impeccable. It's the general color of it is a light green chartreuse, like if you look from a distance. But the sugar leaves and the exterior underneath the crystals itself is this nice bold emerald color that you can see. Now this fades inward to a green that's so light it's almost yellow. It's really interesting. It completely hidden, like you wouldn't expect that to be the inside, but it's like almost yellow. And a slight amount of purple is just at the tip of the nug, like just at the tip where it grows. Giggity. Uh,
Just a tip.
a subtle kind. It also has this subtle kind of orange cream colored hairs to it, and they're spread in these small clusters throughout the whole nug. And it also has this nice crystal coating on the outside that has a slightly yellow tint to it, which gives it an overall lighter tone to the nug, which is why it looks chartreuse, even though it's emerald green, really.
Hmm.
So, and those crystals coat the entire thing inside and out. And these crystals are coating in like a structure that's kind of like a tiny lattice of interweaving grains, really.
Hmm.
And the whole nug has this look to it that is, it looks like it is meant to have gorgeous intent, but it's not trimmed to its full potential, which gives it a look that has been described to me as cruddy, which I painfully have to agree with in the best way possible. Like, it looks like weed that somebody, spent time growing and stuff, but they had to get it out there before, all the dispensaries and stuff. Like, it looks like a good, natural, good smoking weed. And this grinds to a beautiful herbal consistency that, if sold like that, if not for the scent, I would think that it was oregano or some shit and punch somebody. Because it really looks like herbs and spices or shit when it's ground up. But all in all, very fucking gorgeous nug, and yeah.
That's wild, man. I mean, it sounds fantastic. That was a hell of a monologue for describing. I could almost picture it in my brain. If obviously people at home can see it on the screen if they're watching YouTube and Instagram if they're not. But how does it smell, man? Like after that beautiful description, what's it smell like?
Oh yeah. Oh, the smell. Oh, hmm. Yeah. It smells exactly like the name. It smells like bitch breath. Like, best way I can describe it. Like, it smells like something like you could deal with it for a second, but
Yeah.
after so much of it, you're just like, I can't fucking take this bitch anymore. Get the
Oh
fuck
my
away from me.
god.
Get this bitch's breath out
Oh
of my
man.
face.
Yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough. Cruella de Vil, back the fuck up.
Exactly. But yeah, the actual terpenes of it's hard to describe. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's a bitch breath.
Nice.
But
Nice.
yeah, so Shank, why don't you share with the nice folks out there what you're smoking on today?
Well, today I am going to be burning on some Ultra Sour. It's a crossbreed of, I believe, MK Ultra and East Coast Sour. It's a hybrid sativa dominant. And honestly, I love the look of the stuff. It's not super fancy. It's not as, I wouldn't say, as monologue worthy as yours seems to be, but it is some beautiful, rich forest green nugs that have these nice olive tones kind of mixed in throughout. Very, very tight, compressed nugs overall that have this coating of crystal on the outside. It's almost a greenish yellow crystal that's so thick that it mutes these vibrant orange red hairs that are all over it into more of a sepia tone. Like if you rub it away, the crystal, like I'm rubbing a piece of the nug right now with my thumb, and you move the crystal off of the orange hairs, they're vibrant orange. But with it on there, it's almost a brown, like a classic movie. I feel like I'm playing Red Dead 2 with the sepia tone filter turned on. You know what I mean?
I'm smoking weed
Um,
with Charlie Chaplin.
Smoking weed with Charlie Chaplin. Well, it'd be more like a silent movie kind of thing. It's like doodly ding 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 ding. Fucking speech bubble pops up. Shank is smoking. It's like, oh, let's smoke some reefer. Doodly ding ding. Like yeah, and it gives me that old school like look. You know, it reminds me of like a sepia tone where they'd be smoking in an old cowboy movie.
Right.
If they made a cowboy movie where they smoked weed, which they totally should.
Blazing
James
Saddles.
Franco, James Franco, and Seth Rogen get on it. Well, dude, the name, yeah, just do
I
a
thought that
remake
was
of
I
Blazing
thought that
Saddles.
movie was about that.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. It is a
Oh,
good movie though. Check it out if you like westerns, or if you don't like westerns. It's a good movie overall. But the smell is what really hits it home for this strain for me, because you open this container, man. It's like you open it up and it's, oh buddy, like it's sweet, those sweet sour candies like warheads, you know, the citric or tartaric acid or like the types of acid
yeah,
that they
like you just it smells sour.
yeah, it smells like sour, and it has like it's very very pungent front smell of diesel. So it's got like a nice diesel smell in it with this like super sour overnotes, but it leads into a very slight kind of tangerine or almost Valencia orange kind of like note hiding in the background. So it's just kind of sitting back there like, hey, I'm back over here smelling like tangerines, you know, and it's like it's really interesting. And overall, very, very strong smelling nug. It's got a very potent punch to it. Obviously, the folks at home can see, if they're watching on YouTube, they can see these pictures floating behind us when we're describing these strains, but if not, they can go to our Instagram page, the Good Buds at Good Buds Podcast, and check out any pictures that will be from this episode and whatnot and that kind of thing, some background stuff. But if you want to see Curtis's perspective on things, you can check him out on Instagram too.
Yes, you can. I'm at Instagram at at GoodbudsCurtis. My apologies. And then Shank, you also have your own Instagram too, correct?
Yeah, he's not wrong. My Instagram is GoodBudsShank. You can find me at that. And we post all kinds of miscellaneous different pictures of dank weed and some videos of us doing some interesting things.
I smoke a lot, and I record it sometimes.
Yeah, exactly that. So I'm sure, Curtis, you're probably as excited to try these strains as I am. What do you say?
What made you say that?
Yes.
If you can't tell
yeah.
already, I'm ready with my bong, Shank. How about you?
You are 100% correct, sir. I've got my bong right here.
Then you know what time it is, bros. Lighters out. Let's blaze it.
Curtis, man, how's that treating you? How's that treating you, brother?
Sounds like you're dying, so.
You go ahead. I'll be fine.
We'll check
You have a
back with
resurrection spell.
We'll check with him in a second. So, this Puta breath is a very cool and smooth bong hit. It has low flavor at first, which was worrying me because I thought it was going to be a repeat of Sunrise Sherbet. That was a strain 17. I did in episode 17. It had no flavor in that episode. But this one started with a low flavor at first, but it slowly builds to this nice, slightly minty flavor. And then it moves to a combination of minty and lemony citrus combined, which I know most people say that's weird, but for some reason I like it. I think it's nice. It was a very soft hit, but it was good enough that it was able to get a solid feeling to the back of my head, base of the neck, can feel it through the body. All in all, good for me, good for the soul. I'm gonna take another hit, but Shank, since you sound like you have come back to life, why don't you tell the folks how yours is tasting?
Well, yeah, no, I did definitely just have to fight a little bit there. So overall, man, it has a very strong diesel and tangerine taste. Right up front, hit me super strong, very potent going in and coming out. It took all of my willpower to keep my atoms from dispersing into the universe. Like I had to like concentrate on not just like dusting like at the end of Infinity War. Spoiler alert.
Shank almost became ethereal for a minute.
I almost was like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Like, like literally my lungs temporarily left my body and came back with a party and some orange slices.
So Shank experienced some astral projection there, it sounds like.
That's true, actually. And speaking of astral projection, people should check out our Ghost Cast. We put it out every Friday, Good Buds Ghost Cast. There will be a link down below. We just covered a story about astral projection, didn't we, Curtis?
Yes, we did. It's very interesting. We got new episodes coming out every Friday, so why don't you go ahead and check those out? It's on the same channel if you're subscribed to us on YouTube. So might as well subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah, do it up, people. Do it up. But overall, a great head hit. Gave me a nice head bump going straight to the front of my forehead. Giving me that nice little heavy eyebrow thing. I feel like I'm Alec Baldwin, except like half as handsome.
Ugh.
Yeah, but no, man, it's fantastic. Frankly, this strain feels good. That bong toke was potent. Still kind of recovering from it, but obviously, we're gonna have to see how we feel about these. But what did the review sites say about your strain?
Well, as always, these are the opinions of other stoners online, and we are stoners online, giving our opinions to the online.
Opinions.
But this week is actually a little bit different. As I said earlier, this was a private grow from Detroit, and this is a relatively new strain, so there's not a whole lot out there about this specific strain yet. So, with that, I've pretty much had to resort to what I've been able to gather based on what I've already smoked of this, which is a lot, because I bought a lot because it looked good.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
So, based on my opinion, it is a relaxing, happy strain. It's a very good sleep aid. Like, it is a very good sleep aid. If you need to pass out 2 bowls or a joint, you're out. But if you need to stay up and chill and relax, this is still a good chill and relaxing weed. a slightly euphoric body high, which envelops, and that's really common with a lot of the indicas, but it's still nice, still always good. And the only downside I've been able to see is a slight amount of dry mouth,
Hmm.
but at this point, I think I've been smoking weed for so long that I think that's just common because that's been a fucking thing with every single episode. So
Just the default state of your mouth.
I'm just lacking moisture there at this point.
I think it's an indica. It's an indica trait too. Indicas very muchly tend to have more of the dry eye, dry mouth kind of quality that sativas don't usually have. They can have
Sativa,
them, but I find
I've seen a
it's
lot of
higher rate.
sativa. It's debatable. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people. I think a lot of people who smoke sativas are so hyper that they don't realize that they're drinking more water than they actually should. So they
Yeah,
don't
you're
get
probably not
cotton
wrong.
mouth because they're so focused on other shit.
I'm just constantly like, yeah, my brain just autopilots drinking, man. It takes care of itself.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we're fucking laid back on the couch like, dude, so much effort to drink. And then
Have
we
to
just
concentrate on breathing.
and then we just sit here and we fucking dehydrate ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. How am I supposed to get a fucking glass of water if I need to concentrate on breathing?
How am I supposed to
no,
get a
that's-
glass of water if I have to get up?
So yeah, so some dry mouth. I mean, that's not that bad. And I mean, obviously, we're always prepared. So you got some drinks there, so you'll be all right with that, I think.
But like I said, there was no online reviews yet. So with that being said, this is pretty much like the definitive online review as of
Yeah.
right now. So
Yeah,
Puta
our
Breath
podcast is the only place
gets
you can find out about it.
gets 5 stars from me. It definitely gets the good bud seal of approval, and this is definitely, if not for the taste and the scent and everything else, this is definitely a top 10 strain for me regardless. Just because I
And
had
just
to do an
visually.
entire monologue just to describe it.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But before we get to Unhinged, Shank, how was that Ultra Sour reviewed online?
Well, basically, it sounds a lot like a lot of the other strains that I smoke. A lot of people say that it's very happy, euphoric, uplifting, and relaxing. Very stereotypical sativa qualities. Obviously, they do say it's a very potent strain. You can get way too high on this strain if you smoke too much of it. So be careful if you're not an experienced smoker. Know your limits. If
As
you
we always say,
yeah.
moderation is key.
Yeah, moderation is key. If you're not a regular smoker and you get your hands on some of this, I can attest to the fact that that bong hoot almost took me off my feet. If I wasn't in my seat, I might have been taken off my feet, and I would have been like, yeet. Okay, I'm done. No more rhyming. But it was crazy. That toke
rhyme
was
was
crazy.
sheet.
The da yeah, son. I'm slowly warping his mind. But yeah, so exactly, and so it's one of those things where, like, if you're not an experienced smoker, this strain can be a little bit much. It's not a super high THC content, but just from the effects of it, people say that it can be a little bit anxiety inducing if you're not if you're in an illegal state. Don't smoke this because you'll get paranoid as hell.
Just don't
But,
do it, bro.
yeah, don't do it. The paranoia is not worth it. But overall, the reviews are very high. It's a very highly rated strain. Now, people are saying really great things about it, and obviously, I cannot wait to smoke a little bit more. So, yeah,
I agree
let's,
with you there. And in order to help you with that, Frank, happy holidays. I got you a gift.
Oh, bro, dude, you know what? I got you a gift.
Really?
Yeah, here, man. Yeah.
Oh, why, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, dude.
What do we got here?
Um,
What do we got?
Let's see what's in here.
Doobie! Yes!
Bro,
Exactly
this
what
is
I
exactly.
needed.
I know. This is just what I wanted, dude. How did you know?
Oh, man.
Ah,
Psychic.
man.
Ha!
He's my buddy.
I brought it back.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
told
shit.
you.
Oh shit! Oh shit, son! He brought it back. Old
So
school. That's amazing, though. I got a joint.
I got a joint too.
That's amazing, man. No, I love it. I love it. Throwbacks. That's
We
throwbacks.
gotta-
If you're just tuning into this episode, if this is the first episode you've ever listened to, go back through a back catalog and you will understand where that reference comes from.
Hopefully, and
but-
hopefully it dies for season 2.
Oh no, man! I'm bringing that back. Episode 1.
Thank you.
But no, I guess
But-
so. Yeah, man. I'm sure the people at home are waiting for us to light these doobies so they can light theirs with us. What do you think, eh?
I agree. So we got our joints. You got your joints. We got our lighters. Bros, it's 420. Holiday style. Let's blaze it, bros.
We wish you a Irie Christmas.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh, buddy, it
Oh
is
wow. Okay.
420 at the North Pole right now.
420. 420. Santa is smoking that North Pole. Wait, no. Nope.
Wait.
Not finishing that sentence.
Yeah, please don't. But I just realized something. So if it's at the North Pole and all time zones are based on latitude or longitudinal lines, wouldn't that mean that the North Pole is technically in every time zone?
Yeah.
So therefore, it's always 420 at the North Pole.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That-
Yeah.
See, we're not wrong.
I mean, New Cannon. That's what New Cannon. That's where our set is located. Because it's always 420 here. I mean, I think that's a good idea. Like, we just, like...
Yeah.
St. Nick's he's like 3 doors over, man. Like, this is a great quiet neighborhood. Friggin', I mean, you have to deal with elves going door to door trying to sell you candy canes year round, but I mean, fucking, what else are they supposed to do when they're not working?
No, just all the reindeer shit outside. It's just too much to handle.
Dude, that makes amazing fertilizer for the dank weed that they grow up here, though.
You're right, and it does grow magic and glowing red.
Straight up. And I mean, there's no better strain of Northern Lights.
You cannot lie when it's actually grown under Northern Lights.
Yeah. Can you imagine, man? Seriously, I love those posts on Facebook that you see that are like, hey, just for everybody buying me gifts this year for Christmas, I take a size 28 grams sativa. I'm like, Santa hooked me up, but it reminds me of years ago at like one of the first Christmases after my family kind of found out that I smoked weed and stuff like that, and like the rest of my family members were essentially outed themselves as having partaken of the devil's herb. But I know it's dun dun dun. But basically, it's really funny because one year for Christmas, I was sitting there and we were all doing like Secret Santa, like opening our gifts and shit like that, because that's how our family rolls it. Because there are so many people, or there were. Now that my grandmother passed away, we don't really do the big get-togethers anymore. But at the time, there were a lot of us, and so rather than buying a gift for everyone, you would just pick one person's name and buy them a gift, and someone else would get your name, and we do like a Secret Santa thing. And so I opened my Secret Santa gift, and it was like 3 different quarter bags of 3 different strains of weed, a half-used package of zigzags. So like it wasn't even a new pack of zigzags. It was like a half fucking used pack of zigzags.
It's like 15.
Yeah, straight up. There was like, I think there were like 25 of them left or something like that. There were not very many left. But it's okay, it was the thought that counted, and like fucking, and there was like an old pipe that was used too, and like a few knickknacks that looked like they like came out of somebody's like junk drawer. You know how every house has like a junk drawer in their kitchen.
Yeah.
And
like where you put souvenirs for
there's...
places that people went but you never went and you really don't care and you don't need any more bottle openers.
Exactly that. So it looks like someone like opened that drawer and like pulled a few things out that just they thought I would be interested in and like yeeted them all into a box and then wrapped it. And like I was like, and I looked at it and I took it and I opened it up and I sniffed it and I immediately knew who it was. I looked at the uncle who had bought it for him, who had given it to me, and I was like and just kind of gave him one of those like double finger points. And everybody and my grandmother, because she was still alive at the time, basically was like, "Oh, what'd you get?" And I was like, "Oh, I got some weed and some knickknacks." And she was like, "Oh," she's like, "Well, at least it's something you can use."
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. And yeah, it was great.
See, now I've never had any family members buy me weed, and my parents and my brother know for a while. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, he grew it. Yeah, he grew that. It was his own stuff that he grew, and I mean, one of the strains was kind of bunk, but 2 of them were pretty top shelf.
Yeah,
I have no idea what they are now. I forget.
So,
but go ahead.
Yeah, so my family, like, obviously my parents and my brother knew. My extended family, like, they knew, but it wasn't really like a huge thing for everybody. So, I would have Christmas with my family and my brother, and I think it was when I was 19 or 20, my brother decided to get me a picture frame, and in this picture frame was a shitty printed out picture of Minecraft Steve in place of Link in the first Legend of Zelda game, in that cave with the old man, where it's like, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this," and he's giving Minecraft Steve, I think it was either a pickaxe or it was a nug of weed, like shittily photoshopped together and printed. Mind you, the print job, our toner or our ink on our printer was like half out, so it's like
So it
half
had
the
like those
pages
faded
printed.
like squiggly lines.
Oh, huge squiggles. Half of it wasn't even printed, and he's like, "Fuck it, good enough," and he still put it in the picture frame. Now, the best part was this was a handmade picture frame that
Oh,
had
nice.
a back compartment, and by handmade I mean zip tied and stapled together roughly out of plywood. Like, I'll give it to he tried, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, you put effort into this shit.
So the thing is, it was a picture frame that opens up. So I open
Yeah.
up the picture frame, and inside, again, zip tied to a piece of plywood, was 2 packs of papers, a brand new bowl, 3 or 4 different full size candy bars, a new grinder, and there was and a blunt wrap or something else like that. He didn't get
So
me
he
any
gave you, like an
actual weed.
emergency, yeah, but like an emergency weed
It was
kit.
literally an emergency fucking stoner's kit.
Like, oh
and
man,
I was-
that's awesome. See, that's the thing is he
was
knew
cool.
he couldn't get he knew he couldn't get his hands
Yeah.
on the weed itself,
So
but
I
he
just-
knew that he could get you the cool other stuff to go with it.
Exactly. So I hung it up on my wall, and I had it there for a while. And the only thing, obviously, the candy bars didn't last. Like, they
No.
lasted probably 2 days. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, dude,
They got
candy
'em.
bars. And then
Yeah,
I'm
eating
like,
the shit
dude,
out of
this bowl
those.
looks cool. So I pull out the bowl, and I start smoking out of it. And then my
Nice.
grinder started getting sticky, so I pulled the grinder out. And pretty soon the thing was empty except for a blunt wrap. So I just pulled that out, stored that somewhere, because I don't smoke blunts all too much.
Yeah.
And
I do, whenever I can get my
Yeah.
hands on blunt wraps, I like to roll them up every I like to like every now and then. I like a blunt, you know, like I like to smoke just a good blunt. Not all the time, but just every once in a while, roll one up. It's nice.
I like to smoke it. I just don't like to put all the weed into one and spend the time rolling one. Now, if there's one that's
Yeah.
going to be rolled and I can throw in some weed on it, fuck yeah. Add me to the rotel.
truth.
But
Yeah, big truth. See,
if
that's the
somebody
thing,
wants to,
I just don't
if
mind.
somebody
Like,
wants to
I'm one of
just
those-
roll a blunt and I'm allowed in on it, fuck yeah, add me to the rotel.
Yeah.
But
Hell yeah, I'll sit in on
Yeah.
that. But
if
for
I'm
me,
sitting
what
at
it is
home,
is
it's weird.
like I find that like I mean, I don't talk about it too often on the podcast, but like how I produce music, right? And like, I made the intro to this fucking just for the viewers at home. I made like the intro to this and shit like that and everything else. And Curtis did
Well-
some of did the vocals.
Well,
You
you made the intro, but I wrote the initial bass line.
That's true. That's true. He did. He wrote that, and it's an amazing
But
bass line.
but
by the
Shank
way.
recomposed it to what it is
Yeah.
right now. So yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But either way, I produce music, right? And I'll sit down all the time, and like one of my favorite things in the world to do, because like I mean we obviously smoke a lot of cannabis, like you and I both do, and
Yeah.
like just for the audience at home, like we are not typical cannabis smokers. We are connoisseurs. We like to like smoke not just discernible good weed, but we also smoke copious amounts of it. And
Copious amounts of high quality weed.
yeah. And so I like to just I'm a bit of a prolific smoker in the fact that I will smoke an entire joint to myself, and that's not an issue. Like that's not a daily occurrence, it's a multiple times a daily occurrence, right? So what I'll do is if I'm making music, I don't like to leave the zone. Like when I get in the zone, I don't like to leave it. So I don't like to
Yeah.
roll a joint, smoke that whole joint, be making music and want to smoke another joint and have to get another one. Like so
Well, you
what
roll
I'll
a blunt, and that bitch
Yeah.
will burn for fucking 45
Yeah.
to an hour.
Exactly. So I roll a blunt and I'll just sit down and I'll start working on stuff and I'll start working on music, and I'm doing that other project that we've got in the works right now, that other little secret for now project that I'm working on. And when I'm working on that and doing things for that, like adding different stuff and different elements to it, I'll just smoke a blunt. Like I'll roll up a blunt if I can get my hands on a blunt wrap, and I'll just light it and I'll just sit there and smoke it and smoke it and smoke it while I'm working. And I'll just never let it go out. It'll just hang out of my mouth. It's the same as when I used to be in the studio recording guitar and stuff in the studio. I would just have a joint hanging out of the side of my mouth all the time, and I'd just play whatever I'm playing, because I was back when you could still smoke in studios. Now they only allow vaping, I think,
Right.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Vaping's just fine.
Yeah, that's why you make your own studios.
Straight up. That's why you make your own studios, because I'm smoking in my studio right now.
I'm in my studio right now, and it's my room. I can smoke as
I
much
know.
weed as I want in here because it's mine.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's mine. Yeah, fuck you, DJ Khaled. You're not telling me I'm not allowed to smoke in here. But I'm just joking. DJ Khaled wouldn't tell you that. He'd be like, DJ Khaled. That's all I really know. Oh man, but yeah,
I know we
it's
the best.
so yeah, we the best, yeah. But so yeah, like I like blunts for that, just for like the long burningness, like the fact that I'll sit down to like work on music and just light the blunt, put it in my mouth, and I can just focus and get in that zone making music. And the only time I really have to worry about the blunt is just to tap it, get the ashes off the end of it, and then put it back in my mouth and just kind of keep going. And
Gotcha,
like
gotcha.
yeah, and it works for me. And I mean, I don't mind like joints like rolling, but I somehow feel worse about rolling up like four joints and lighting one joint after the other than I do about just lighting one blunt and letting it burn, even though it's like roughly the same amount of weed.
Psychology of numbers, and
Yeah,
even then, 4 joints is still like one, or probably one blunt is probably 2 joints.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, it's probably you are
Well, I
probably
usually
saving more
do. I
weed.
usually do about half. Yeah, because usually I do like half-gram joints.
Probably a half gram to a gram size joint or blunt.
Yeah, yeah. I do like half-gram joints, and I'll do like a gram and a half for a blunt usually.
Yeah,
So yeah, about two joints and like about three joints, or what? Like
2.5 to 3 joints.
yeah, 2.5 to 3 joints. And so like it's like, and that's why, I feel substantially like, and it doesn't do like it's not the same. I just hate because then if I turn and I grab the joint, I light the joint and stuff like that, take the first puff, make sure it's lit and everything else, then I get back to the computer. Sometimes that can be enough to like, it's stupid, but like I hate to sound like one of those like cheese eating artists, but like it is sometimes enough to break me out of the zone that I'm in, and like I lose what I was doing. Like I'll be like in the middle of something sick and I'll take like 2 seconds away, just like even get distracted by something for like a second, and then I'll go back to the computer and it's just gone.
Right.
Like
No,
it just doesn't, the vibe's gone. So yeah, man. So
that's fine. It's understood.
it's yeah, but that's why I like blunts. But I get it. So you took the blunt out and that emptied it out. And where's it now?
In
Is it
my
still hanging up?
uh, it's actually behind my desk right now. It's not hanging up because I had to take it down when I painted my room, and I haven't put any posters or anything back up yet because I don't want
Yeah.
to ruin how pretty my room is. Awesome.
I know it's nice new paint.
Exactly. Yeah, nice.
I gotta paint my office too. But so yeah, it's behind your desk now.
Yeah, like underneath the desk, like behind, like stored away under the desk.
Yeah.
Not
Does your brother smoke weed now or not at all? Still.
No, still not at all. He's
No.
got a job. He's got shit to do.
No, I hear you.
I
I
have a
hear you.
job
So
too, but
he's a sativa guy then.
he's a kratom guy or whatever.
No, that'll do. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just do that on the weekends. You're good. Not a bad idea, man. Not a bad idea. So yeah, man, like it's pretty like I mean, it's honestly like I know that right now I'm getting the munchies, and luckily I have a bag of chips right here next to me, so it appears that this strain does give you the munchies a little bit,
Right.
and that's okay.
Not like that might. It's not. I've had a feeling that was going to be the main problem with it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Who knows?
it does remind me of something. I don't know.
Hmm?
I had to say the word Maine just to remind me.
Hmm?
I'm
I
high.
get it.
Sorry. So essentially, we have to get into some. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, say the thing.
I will. Weed news worldwide. There we go. This is the segment where we talk about cannabis news as far as the world will stretch. And today it's as far as
To every corner of the flat Earth.
to every.
I'm not a flat earther. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, brother.
So today
We just got a whole new audience, Curtis.
I know, right? Branching out. So we've searched far and wide for stories all across the globe, all across the world, and we've ended up in Maine. But no, it's actually some good news.
Yeah.
So marijuana this year is now Maine's biggest agricultural commodity.
Baller.
So in the essentially, Maine is known for wild blueberries, potatoes, but marijuana has surpassed them this year to be its most valuable crop. Medical marijuana sales have totaled 221.8 million dollars from January through October, which is more than double what had been sold by the same time last year. Now based on state sales tax figures, It compares to $184.1 million for potatoes, $123 million for milk, and $26 million for blueberries in 2019.
Hmm.
So, in the time between January and October, marijuana has sold $221.8 million worth of medicinal marijuana, which is literally, yeah, more than potatoes or milk or blueberries had sold
It's like
in the
zooming
previous
past
year.
everything.
Exactly. Uh, now, uh, yeah, obviously the pandemic has not slowed down the sale of weed at all. It
Nope.
is literally
Dude,
year to date.
Everyone's cooped up at home, man. Like, what do you think they're doing? Like, just tolerating each other?
Exactly. Since it was able to tabulate medical marijuana sales last year, the technical growth has been 152%.
Whew. There we go.
Yep,
Invest in weed, people. Invest in weed.
exactly. The figures include sales from Maine's 8 medical marijuana dispensaries and a network of almost 3,000 registered caregivers serving about 600 or 65,000 certified medical marijuana patients. Maine only
Wow.
began tracking sales tax data for caregivers last year.
Wow, man, that's wild.
Exactly. So it's very interesting to see this because I I think I've talked about it before on the podcast, and obviously we can see the same thing happening for Maine here. But same thing happened in Michigan. Again, like 2 years ago, marijuana was considered illegal, and this year with coronavirus and Michigan legalizing marijuana, and then it becoming a necessary business, marijuana went from illegal to necessary within 2 years.
Yeah.
And
It's same here. In Canada, it's classified as an essential business. Like, they can't close it for COVID. It's essential,
right. And
which is awesome because it used to be illegal.
exactly. And but I can't remember if Maine is completely legal or just
I think it's just medical, but I may be wrong. We should probably check that.
I'm checking right
Yeah.
quick right
Yeah, I'll
now.
take a look there and see what
They're
we can
both
find out.
medical and recreational,
Well, there you go. There you go. That would also explain the surge in marijuana sales.
of course. But yeah, with that, in the short time or in whatever short time they have been legal, uh Maine has gone from, mainly blueberries and potatoes to being all medical alone sale from $221.8 million this year.
That's
So
incredible, man.
huge boom for the
So
market. Really great if you're into cannabis, and good for you, Maine. Way to go this year.
yeah, good job, guys. That's friggin' amazing. Like, and actually, it's funny because my story directly relates to produce and cannabis as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's funny. So I found this. I found this on Marijuana Moment.
Oh, by the way, sorry, but my news source came from U.S. News. Links in the
Oh,
description below.
straight from the U.S. News. Nice. Mine came from Marijuana Moment, and it's in their science and health section. It's pretty interesting. They basically found out that dumping CBD oil on strawberries extends their shelf life and stops mold from growing. So, CBD strawberries.
CBD strawberries.
Yep, CBD strawberries. We can get the CBD milk, CBD
CBD.
cream. Yeah,
Yep. Get the CBD milk from the CBD beef,
yeah,
and
CBD beef.
whip
And
that into some CBD cream, and then some CBD
weren't they
strawberries and
doing?
cream.
Yeah, weren't they doing some CBD corn too? I think they did CBD corn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll do the CBD corn, and then what we'll do is we'll take that and make a CBD meal.
That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah,
Delicious.
yeah. But it's amazing, man. Basically, the study what it found out, it's saying that CBD is marketed to help with a dizzying array of human wellness issues, which frankly, it is. I don't use the M word, the miracle word, but it's a scientific anomaly how many things it can help.
Right.
But basically, one of the things you can add to that is now fruit preservation. So that's lit. So what they're figuring out is that this was done at University of South Florida. They did a study that it's going to be published in the Post-Harvest Biology and Technology Journal. They tested the antimicrobial effects of CBD by dousing strawberries in CBD oil. So they basically harvested them, and just dumped a bunch of CBD oil on them. Just
Vine from vine
super
to
scientific.
oil.
Super scientific, right? So they just took them
Artisanal
off. They were like,
strawberries.
all right. So they're on the table. What do we do now? Dump the CBD oil on them. Well, are we supposed to like measure it? No. Just dump it on them. Um, so what they said is the strawberries were evaluated for visual quality and microbial load before and during storage. So results from the study found that CBD oil was effective at maintaining the visual appearance of strawberries compared to the fruit that wasn't treated. There was also a significant reduction in the microbial load that the fruits carried, as if they were treated with CBD, means that they didn't have many microbes on them,
Right.
and they had way less mold and less yeast, so they didn't go as bad. They didn't get that alcohol-y taste that strawberries tend to get
See,
when they
and
go bad.
that sounds way more appealing to me because I've been seeing a lot of those like Facebook videos where it's like, oh, you want to get all this stuff off your strawberries? Soak it in salt water, soak it in vinegar. It'll get rid of all of this. But then you have salty ass strawberries. I want
Yeah.
this. I want CBD.
Yeah.
Just let
I
those
want
bitches
CBD
die in
berries.
there and then pour out and then just eat them and then get all medicated and shit and not give a
I
fuck
know.
about it.
I know, straight up, right? So it's amazing, right? It's amazing, but the study focused mainly on strawberries right now. So they indicated that CBD oil has promising potential as an antimicrobial treatment for fresh produce. And they're talking about in general. So that's their conclusion. Is they're saying this doesn't just apply to strawberries. They may end up using this as a way to keep regular foods from molding because they know that
Dude.
it's completely
So
non-toxic.
wait, you're telling me
CBD is
that they're
non-toxic.
using. So all in all, CBD is being used as a preservative, right?
So we're talking about not just special products, we're talking about all produce, period.
Yes, but hold. I just want you to make sure I'm understanding you. You're
Mhm.
talking about a CBD oil being used to preserve things, correct?
Correct.
So you're telling me I can get embalmed in CBD oil now?
Oh my god. It's a
I'm
mirage
adding it to the
of
well.
sabotage.
CBD
Yeah,
me!
I will make
CBD
sure it's done.
me!
CBD, oh my god, CBD Curtis. Oh my god, CBD me. CBD me. Oh god, we need to start. Okay, if the Good Buds podcast doesn't work out, Curtis, we need to start a funeral home where we embalm people and we like preserve them in CBD oil and we'll call it CBD me.
Yes, absolutely.
Alright.
You know what?
Alright.
Absolutely. We come up with a
You
good
heard it now,
business
folks.
every single episode. This is
You
why
heard
you
it now,
guys need to
folks.
stick around. Subscribe,
this is-
follow, like, share with your friends. We
And
are
if one
coming
of
up
you
with great
shamelessly
ideas because we're high
if one
as
of you
fuck
shamelessly
right now.
steals our idea, if you shamelessly steal our idea, that's fine. But make sure just to kind of give us a credit, give us a shout out. You know, let us put some of our business cards in your lobby or something. Like be
Or if
cool.
you start making money, let
Be
us
cool.
know and we'll fucking shout you out on the podcast or fucking
Yeah,
give you
hell
an
yeah.
ad spot once you pay us.
Yeah.
But
Straight up
like
money.
fuck you, but also good for you. Like make
Good
it
for you.
work. Capitalism,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, yeah.
But-
Frankly, I know the amount of overhead that kind of an embalming center would and the
Oh, it would.
paperwork. I just don't even know where to
It
start.
would be like 10
But-
liters of fucking CBD oil per person.
Yeah, no. I'm thinking like floating them in it like a Bacta tank.
Submerging them in it like Minority
just-
Report.
Yeah, exactly like that. Just like dunk them in it, like so that it's like a glass tube, like Mia Jovovich at the beginning of Resident Evil when she's in the glass tube, just floating there, just
Well,
like that, just like that, just
could-
dong flopping out and everything. Just, but yeah, no, it's amazing. So that's what they're saying. They're saying CBD oil can be used as a preservative, not on just strawberries, but on all produce, and they're looking at making this not just a specialty like thing where they're not saying you can buy it at the pharmacy. They're not saying you can buy it at specialty stores. They're saying they want to do this to all produce that's sold in America to make it so that it's not, because CBD is non-toxic,
Right.
it's not harmful, it has no psychoactive effects at
It has
all.
good effects.
It has
makes fruit
positive
hel-
effects.
If anything, it's making fruit healthier.
Exactly, it has positive effects, and it's something that's easily accessible. You can easily get it, so it's like it makes sense to start treating produce with it because it's non-toxic. People will buy the shit out of that. You can it might
Ooh.
start off in the organic section, I think, but I'm thinking that a lot of companies will start leaning away from pesticides and everything else and start leaning into using CBD oil.
Like, if not if the companies themselves or the farmers themselves aren't gonna do it, then I can see a lot of, at least in the legal states or the states where CBD and oil and stuff like that are, because that shit's sold fucking everywhere. They sell it at tanning salons. You can buy CBD literally any fucking. You can buy it at a car wash through a vending
Well,
machine.
because it's
if you want.
unregulated.
Exactly.
It's because it's
So,
not regulated. So
as long as it's under a certain amount of THC, it's CBD and nobody gives a shit.
I think it's 0.02% THC. I think is the percentage.
You're right.
It varies
there.
from state to state though, but that's the
No, you're
average.
right.
It's 0.02.
I'm pretty sure for our state it's that. But anyway, yeah, literally with how much they sell CBD shit, they could literally just sell little spray bottles in stands right on produce sections, and then you would just grab a bottle, spray it, go home, or take it home with you and then spray it.
I see
Or they
it
might
being
just
like
have a public, or they might just have a public one where it just sprays CBD. Imagine the
I see
homeless
it- I
guys
see
going
it-
in like, my back pain.
Yeah, I see it as being more like an as seen at TV product, especially if it gets legalized down in the States. Like if they don't want to put it automatically on the produce, they'll have like infomercials where they're like, "Do you want your produce to last longer? And does your back hurt a whole bunch? Well,
Miracle
today I
CBD
have
spray.
today I have a solution for you. You just need to get this Miracle CBD spray. Buy one bottle for $9.99, and we'll send you 2 other bottles and a free business card with a smiley face drawn on it."
I drew it myself.
Like seriously, it'd be like that kind of shit, and like they'd be
Exactly.
selling it on TV, and it would be. But that's I think there's a lot of promise to this because it means that like I mean I'm not, once again, don't want to sound like a cheese eating artsy motherfucker, but
Which means he's about to, but
which means I'm about to. But I really like, less, like, more natural foods. Like, if I can have foods with less, like, chemicals and shit all over them, regardless, I don't care about chemicals, I'll eat them. I'm not going to complain. I eat gas station hamburgers. I am not a food snob.
but if you can get the nicer
if I can
stuff,
if
the
I can get the
healthier
opportunity to have my
organic-
food be better, if I could go to the produce section and have it be like, hey, we no longer use like nicotinoid like insecticides that kill the fuck out of bees when we're using CBD oil and shit now on our crops and stuff, I'd be like, I love you all. Like, you go from I hate marijuana to dollar signs to we love marijuana. And I don't even care. I don't care what the reasoning is for loving marijuana. I don't, like, not even a little bit. I'm just happy that Curtis and myself can have a podcast like we have because everywhere people are starting to realize that CBD and THC have a lot of benefits. And it
Exactly.
needs to be legalized.
And it's really good because it makes it so that way people don't have to do any more illegal traveling or shit to fucking ship narcotics or whatever and stuff like that.
Yes.
That does bring me to my next story, Segway Master.
Master Segue. Now we ruined it by saying it, but it's like one of those. Go ahead.
So there's another country in the world where marijuana has been being shipped, and this is in Ireland. So
Top of the morning
Ireland,
to you.
oh yeah, I know we do have a couple Irish listeners occasionally, unless we lost them the last time we tried an Irish accent. Sorry about that again.
I know. We're very offensive sometimes,
But
and
we're making it
not
up
sorry.
to you, and we're talking specifically for you guys. We saved it for
Yeah.
the end of the podcast, so again, sorry, but hey,
Yeah, shout out to
We got-
Ireland, man. Shout out.
exactly. So in
Love you guys.
Ireland,
Actually, I'm half Irish, so I gotta love Ireland. Otherwise, I'm gonna
so
stop hating
in
Irish.
Ireland, medical cannabis has been legalized for a little bit now. It's been launched on a 5-year pilot program. Just last year is when it was launched, and this program allows access for 3 qualifying conditions, which is intractable nausea and vomiting associated with chemotherapy, severe and severe and treatment resistant epilepsy,
Mhm.
and I want to make sure I'm saying this word right because I know if I say it wrong, it's actually very offensive. Spasticity associated with multiple sclerosis. There we go, nailed it. All right. So
Okay, I'm not looking at the article. I'm not looking at the article that you're reading right now in front of me. So I'm just kind of like I don't even know what word you were trying to say.
Anyway, I'll tell you later.
No,
So
go
there are
for it. Go for it. Keep
So
going.
there are 30 physicians in Ireland licensed to make program recommendations. Now, so all these patients, whatever, they're still allowed to have medical marijuana, but they can't grow it, and there's no shops that sell it. So the
Yeah.
only way they were able to get a hold of it was through the Netherlands. Now, before COVID, they had to travel all the way to the Netherlands to get their medicine and then travel all the way back to Ireland, which, no problem in the European Union, Schengen area, they're free to travel.
Mm-hmm.
It might cost a little bit here and there, but for the most part, they're free.
Yeah. It would have been a little inconvenient, but
Exactly.
I get you. At least they have.
Now-
At least they can go to get it. But I mean,
Exactly.
Ronas, man, Ronas.
Now, with Rona's kicking in, the Irish Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, implemented a plan that would allow medical marijuana to be delivered from the Netherlands to Ireland for those specific patients.
Oh.
Now, this idea went over so well, and his office received so much praise about the program, that led to the decision to make it permanent.
Well, there you go.
So now, this permanently, regardless of when coronavirus is solved or whether it ever is or not, until marijuana is either further considered in Ireland, as of right now, Irish citizens are able to have marijuana shipped to them from the Netherlands, safely and securely.
It's magnificent, man. That's
Now,
awesome.
the interesting way that this works is funny, because actually in the Netherlands, it's prohibited to have commercial exportation of cannabis oils and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, they wouldn't be able to send it normally. However, the law got circumvented and worked around because it allows the individual prescriptions from European Union states to be filled, which means somebody in
so
another European
medical.
Union state can fill out a prescription for somebody in another one. So, for a medical reasoning, Netherlands can ship to Ireland, not by Netherlands to Ireland, but by two European Union nations, essentially.
No, yeah, so it makes sense. So what they're saying is basically that, like, it's illegal for you to send any kind of weed. You're not allowed to do it. But you can send any kind of medicine that you want to send. So if you're sending weed
Absolutely.
as medicine, then it doesn't fucking matter that it is weed because it is that
exactly.
patient's prescription.
And
So we can send it. No problem.
according to Ireland's law, the only marijuana entering and THC concentrates entering that system are medicine.
And according
only
to
for
the
medical
Netherlands, cannabis is medicine.
And according to the
So-
Netherlands, Netherlands is awesome. You guys should go there once coronavirus is gone. Pretty cool.
For sure.
I say that
Hit it up.
nonchalantly, just to be positive. But everyone should
Hit it up.
hit that place up.
Well, once the Rona ends, actually, even better, why don't you just buy a VR headset and go there in VR, because then you don't have to deal with other
Dude,
people.
I should do that. Have my
Yeah, straight up,
PlayStation
man.
VR.
That's the best. Like, honestly, one of the best things I love about VR is I can go to all
What was
these,
one of the
because
best
Google
things?
Maps, like, Google Maps has this thing on the Oculus now, where you can, like, basically go into Google Street View and, like, go to all these touristy places and just kind of, like, look around, and it's really neat, man. It's really cool. Like, it's not as, like, 3D as, like, three-dimensional graphic, but it's cool.
Right.
Like, kind of going there and, like, seeing the, you want to see the Colosseum, go down. They actually have a tour inside the Colosseum. By the way, it's pretty boring. I'd recommend skipping it.
Right.
It's literally just a bunch of broken down shit and dirt. You can see the same thing. You can see it looks way better on the outside. But yeah, Google Maps is the way to go, man, for vacations and shit and going and seeing the world, and just smoke a really, really good joint. Don't have
Or
to
a
deal with
bong.
crowds. Or bong. And just don't you don't have to deal with the crowds. You don't have to deal with anything like that. So, like, I think, obviously, it's really good that Ireland has found a solution for their medical patients, because even before, I'm not gonna lie, like, it might not, like, in Europe, distances might not be that huge, but going from Ireland to the Netherlands every time you need to re-up would suck fat dong. Like, I
Dude,
mean,
I
that'd
hate
be like,
having to drive the 20 minutes I have to go to actually go
I
into
know.
Detroit to get stuff
Like-
from an actual store.
I know, I'm impatient as hell, bro. So, like, I mean, it's like I have to drive a little ways to get to my location too. But if it was, like, even a little bit further, I'd be like, nah, man, like, just, and I get it. I sound like, first world spoiled, blah, 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 blah. But we are in first world countries. So,
There should be marijuana
like,
stores, because
there should
marijuana's
be-
not bad. It should
yeah,
be legal
marijuana's
everywhere.
fantastic.
And it should be
Marijuana,
regular.
I should be able to get weed. Like, I should be able to get weed easier than I can get alcohol. But
I mean,
it should
I'm
still be
I mean,
somewhat
I
controlled,
really
but
shouldn't complain because I've said before we have delivery services that literally
It's
can
true.
deliver it
It's
to my
true.
door.
And I mean, I have access to cannabis too, and there are people who have it substantially worse than us, and they're working towards making it better. This is a step towards Ireland getting better, and I hope that their government figures out that recreational will make their country so much money. See, that's the thing too, is Britain, Brexit. I don't like getting political, but and I'm sure you don't know all the details. I don't know all the details, but you've heard of Brexit, right?
Yes,
Well, apparently that went down in fucking flames because the
absolutely.
dude didn't think of an economic solution once they left the European Union. They didn't think of what they were going to do after. So once they were like, "We're leaving," and they left, they were like, "What do we do now?" And they're like, because they didn't know, right?
Right.
And I was like, legalize cannabis recreationally. I
Good
can
start.
guarantee you that will put an immediate massive boost into their economy. It won't fix it. It won't make it so that, all of the things that the EU is going to help them out with or whatever will be back again, but it provide a massive influx of tax money for the government so that at least some of the money they're going to be losing is going to be balanced out,
Oh yeah.
Like so it's
But-
like it's yeah. So I just think legalize cannabis, man. Like I think every
Absolutely.
country in the world should just legalize cannabis. Just make it so you can buy it, you can smoke it, you can
Which-
grow it.
Well, it should be coming up more on some more ballots and some more
True.
political things coming soon. After all, the
True.
UN had recently voted to change the scheduling of marijuana from Schedule 4 to something less. So it's no longer on the same level as heroin in the eyes of the UN, which is good
Big
because it's
truth,
not.
yes.
It definitely isn't on that level.
No, it isn't. It's just like America now. America's doing the same thing. They're working on
Exactly.
rescheduling
So
and
it's very
reclassifying
nice that-
marijuana.
Everybody's coming home for the holidays,
Yes.
and it's nice.
Yes, at least on a metaphorical level, right?
Metaphorically,
Because
yes.
because I mean, if you can't be with your family this holidays in person, hopefully you can be with them digitally. If you're concerned about like just kind of getting home for the holidays and the safety of your family and everything else, just know that it's gonna be different this year, but we can still love each other. We can still smoke marijuana. We can all everybody and their dog has Zoom installed on their computer now.
Right.
So. Yeah, man. Basically,
The
I'm sure
Christmas
we can.
is different. The love is still there.
Yeah, that's right, man. It's
And don't worry, Santa's going to be wearing his mask when he delivers.
That's right. And Curtis's wang grew 3 sizes that day.
Aww. But another good thing about being online this Christmas is you can also buy people some gifts if you want to.
For people.
And we know 2 very special places that you can go to shop for them. One of those
Yeah,
places is myhighshop.com. We got a link down below, and if you use code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout, you get a whopping 35% off and free shipping on your whole purchase order.
He's damn right. And if you go to lumenspot.com and you use our code at the checkout, GoodBudsPodcast, you will save 50% off. And you will also get free shipping, and not only that, you help us out directly at the podcast over here by getting a little bit of a kickback, so we can put it towards making this thing better for all of you folks out there.
Exactly. So be sure to check out those links below, and even if you don't want to, be sure you check out, or be sure to subscribe, like, share, share it with people who might want to.
Yeah. I'm sure there's someone out there, like, seriously, Lumenspot has, like, some of the coolest friggin' clothes I have ever seen in my life. Like, they're neat, so there's guaranteed to be someone in your life that thinks that they're fucking cool. So just
Absolutely.
share it around, and not to
And
mention,
the same
just,
with-
like Curtis said, yeah.
And the same with
My
My
High
High
Shop.
Shop. They got these amazing amethyst crystal pipes that are literally
They're
just
cool.
made out of a pure crystal with a drill hole through it. It's
Yeah.
weird, but it's cool, and they're not that expensive. Very spiritual.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So check it. Like Curtis is right. Links are down there. Check it out. They're fucking fantastic. Both of them have some really cool shit on there. My High Shop has some of the coolest weed stuff that you can find, and Lumen Spot has this really cool clothing and accessories that are like super like flashy. You will love them. So just and while we're at it, Curtis, how we doing for time, brother?
We're getting a little bit low on time, so I think
Oh, shoot.
I just gotta ask you real quick. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling fantastic. That strain has got me feeling like I've got a bop going, man. Frankly, it's nice. I'm just kind of sitting here, feeling nice and comfortable. I do feel quite relaxed in this chair, which is frankly a very uncomfortable chair. that I have right now, and I feel quite relaxed in it actually more than I usually am, and it's good, man. Nice bump of a high. Feeling fairly energetic, and like I could get some gaming going or something like that. I should probably rock some gaming after this recording's done.
Oh yeah, we still got that new GTA update to check out.
Yeah, the new heist. Sweet, I'm
Exactly.
looking forward to that. But how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nice. You know, I'm still uppity in here. Like I said, I'm not tired, so I'm not passing out. But
No.
my body feels nice, euphoric. Uh, Great. Now that I said sleep, that sounds really nice right now.
Don't be doing it, man. We got stuff to do.
I know. Okay. Anywho,
Quick.
so yeah. But before we go, I do have one more bong packed.
Yeah, I do too, man. Right here.
In
one
which
right here.
case, bros, for the road, lighters out, bongs up, let's smoke. Lazy.
Burn 'em. Oh man.
That is excellent, excellent strain with the fucking monologue worthy description and smell of a Mexican hooker.
Keep it together, Shank. Keep it together. Oh my
That
god.
is
I'm
Puta
dying on the
breath.
inside. That's amazing. Like, so he's smoking some Puta breath today. I am smoking that ultra sour. Both of them seem to have lived up to their reviews and their names.
And
I love it, man.
absolutely, these are both great strains. Like we said before, you can check out links in description to other social medias where you can check out further stuff. But
Yep.
with that being said, I think we're gonna roll one for the road bros. I think it's time we get out of here.
Yes, sir. Obviously, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with every single person that you think may be even remotely interested in a cannabis review podcast, or just generally hanging out with two buds who like to talk and smoke weed. That'd be
Check under your
fantastic.
tree this Christmas because we told Santa to leave our business cards, so you may see one. If not, that guy owes us some money.
Yeah,
But-
that's true, man. And I won't say that seriously, we can just walk next door from the studio here and we can just break his kneecaps. I mean, and I don't want to have to do that, so.
Not on
Oh yeah, we can. Oh shit.
Anyway,
I'll try to cut that.
later, buds. We'll see you next week. And once again, happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you believe in. It don't matter. We all love you. And once again,
Yeah.
Merry Marijuana.
Yeah. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, folks. And later, buds.
Later.